Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where today we're going to be taking a look at the Era 3 Premium Light, the Desert Warrior. So for those of you short on time, here is my quick overview. Is the Desert Warrior a good tank? No. Is it a bad tank? No. It feels to me like it could have been a tech tree tank, and it would have made a pretty decent tech tree tank as well. But it's not. It is a premium light, and its base asking price is 13,750 gold, which in my opinion is pushing the higher end of asking prices, but I don't think that's asking too much. I mean, recently we've seen prices up at 20,000, 18,000. That is way too much, you know, £51, £70. I don't actually know how much 13,750 gold is. I know it's a lot less than what we've seen before, and I do think that is pushing the ceiling of what is acceptable, what is an acceptable asking price for a premium tank in Era 3. What you get with the Warrior is a 65% silver boost, which Wargaming have added because this tank is lacking in some areas, so they've slapped a 65% silver boost on it in the hope that that will persuade you to buy one. Now, what I'm about to say here needs to be taken in the context of the game as it is in June 2024. If you're watching in the future and Wargaming fix Era 3, disregard what I'm about to say. The Warrior has a problem, and that problem is it's just another autocannon, an ATGM launcher in Era 3. There are no tactics to playing the Warrior because there are no tactics in Era 3. There is no strategy to the Warrior because there is no strategy in Era 3. Shots don't go where you aim them. It's just a complete mess. And the sad part is I requested the Warrior, or I spoke to the lead tank designer at TankFest 2023. That's pretty much bang on a year ago. And here it is. But am I going to get one? No, because really, even though I want this tank, even though I like this tank, I'm not going to spend money on it because with the game as it is right now, June 2024, this is a sugar cube that's been dropped into a bucket of shit. It doesn't make the chaos of Era 3 any sweeter. If Wargaming fix Era 3 though, then I am happy to do this review again. I'm happy to review many of the premiums again. But right now, I would not spend a penny on Era 3 because the best way you can help the game is to stop spending money on it. I can tell you, Wargaming will pay attention when you stop spending money. So there you go. Again, if you're watching this in the future and Era 3 has been fixed, disregard this and just skip ahead to the details of the Warrior, which we will get onto now. Okay, with that little bit out the way, let's take a look at the Warrior in a little bit more detail, and I'm going to compare it to its smaller cousin, the Alvis Stormer, because that is, again, a British premium light tank in Era 3. So, the Warrior has 220mm of pen on its standard rounds, 800mm of pen on its standard ATGMs, and 1000mm of pen on its premium ATGMs. The Stormer has 223mm of pen on its standard rounds, so near as makes no difference to the Warrior, 3mm, whatever. And the Stormer's ATGMs are exactly the same as the Warrior's. The Warrior will do an average of 30 alpha per gun round and 1300 alpha per ATGM. Stormer will do 30 alpha for the Warrior, 40 alpha for the Stormer. And again, with the Stormer, the ATGM alpha is exactly the same as the Warrior. The Warrior has 3100 hit points. The Stormer has 3000, so an extra 100 in the Warrior. Yeah, does that make a difference? Maybe. Maybe not. I'll let you guys decide. The Warrior will max out at 75 kilometers an hour unboosted. The Stormer will max out at 80 kilometers an hour, and that's both backwards and forwards. Both tanks have 550 meters of view range. The Warrior's moving and still concealment are the same, coming in at 319 meters. Same story with the Stormer, but it comes in at 312 meters of concealment. Some more details about these tanks that are important, because these are important when you're thinking about light tanks. The Warrior has an unboosted power to weight ratio of 19.04. The Stormer has an unboosted power to weight ratio of 19.22. The speed of the ATGMs for both the Stormer and the Warrior are very slow, and this is something that I've noticed when playing them. I thought, this is difficult. This makes it harder to play these tanks because it takes so long for the ATGMs to get there, and that's because they only travel at 329 meters per second. I mean, when you look at a tank like the Sheridan in Era 2, that's up at 600 and something, and you really notice that. The Sheridan's ATGMs are rapid, but the Warrior does feel very slow. You'll put a shot out at range and you will be sat there for what feels like a good second or two before it finally makes contact. So side by side, there is very little difference between these vehicles, but in my opinion, the Stormer, it's the better tank for various reasons. The Stormer has a better power to weight ratio, even if it's only just slightly. It has higher alpha per shot. It's faster, both forwards and backwards, and it's a smaller tank, so it's harder to hit. And when you consider that both of these tanks retail for 17,000 gold outside of discounts, well, the Stormer is the better deal. But that's enough about the Stormer. We'll stop praising that thing. The Warrior does have its benefits. Obviously, it's got the extra hit points, and it's got that 65% silver boost. So the economy stats for the Warrior, like I've said, 65% silver boost, 10% tank XP boost, 4% free XP boost, and finally a 10% free XP boost. Did I say that twice? Yeah, I did. 10% crew XP boost. Sorry, I think it's crew XP boost I missed off there. Yes. My apologies. So, Warrior, 65% silver boost. Stormer, 55% silver boost. And I will say for a fact, Wargaming are counting on that 65% silver boost to sell the Warrior. They're using that as the USP because the Warrior is lacking in the other areas, as we've covered. So, is the Warrior a good tank? Not particularly. Is it a bad tank? Absolutely not. Should you be buying it? Yes. If Wargaming fix Era 3 and they make it the pinnacle of their gaming experience, then yes, get it. But right now, no. Do not spend a penny on Era 3. Do not spend a penny on the game until they fix it. Which is a real shame, because obviously I like this game, and here I am telling you guys to not invest in it because, well, Wargaming have got to do something about their game. And if you keep spending money on it, they'll think, oh, revenue's there, it's fine. So, there's the truth, guys. That is my take on the Warrior. Bad tank? No. Good tank? Not particularly. If you're a fan of the British tanks, then obviously you make your decision and you get it. You won't be let down. But for the most part, I wouldn't spend money on the game as it is right now. Fingers crossed, Wargaming fix it. Alright guys, that's about all I've got for this one. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one.